Arizona, homeowner's best friend.
And when we're talking about flowering shrubs and color, yellows are pretty common in the desert.
Very.
What other colors can you find? I know there's a few purples, some reds if you get into bougainvilleas.
Well, so the Texas Rangers or Texas Sages are still, a lot of them still blooming. They're kind of our monsoon plant. So when we get late summer rains, they color up, and they're going to be purples, blues, indigos.
And a lot of people would never know that if they look at commercial landscape, because right at the time they're blooming,
they never get a chance.
The crew comes through and trims them all
That's
up
so
to look
true.
like a gumdrop.
It's the little silvery gray bush you see looks like little gumballs in all the commercial landscapes. That's what we're talking about.
The ones on the corner over here, they just came into bloom. I'm like, oh, that's great. And then the next day I came back and got to keep on that schedule.
So a lot of purples and some reds. The Baja fairy duster, the non-native fairy duster, but they're a real vibrant red, and they're a great attractor for hummingbirds. If you're looking to pull in some hummingbirds or some pollinators into your garden, the red fairy duster is a good one. So you can get oranges, yellows, reds, purples, pretty easily. But yellows certainly dominate the desert landscape scene to some degree.
It's very true. I mean, just kind of also going off of another really great one, especially for if you're a new homeowner or your yard, you don't have a whole lot of yard space, kind of going off of those, the Rangers, the leucophyllums, your sages. There's one called the Lynn's Legacy, and it's a dwarf version of that. And it still has that really beautiful purple bloom to it with these really delicate, soft silver leaves to it. And that's something that really takes off in the colder months here. And it does really well in a whole host of areas.
And your purple trailing lantana is much more vibrant and predominant in the cooler months. As long as it doesn't freeze hard, it will give you lots of color, as opposed to the oranges and yellow type lantanas that don't bloom as well in the cold. It's a good bloomer, and of course bougainvilleas. Again, if they don't freeze, they can be their prettiest because they're not growing as fast.
That's true.
And what you're seeing is not really a bloom, but a bract or a modified leaf that's in color. And the slower they grow, the more chance those bracts have to color up. So if, in December and January, if we don't get a hard freeze, which we don't very often anymore, bougainvilleas are fabulous winter color.
Rosie on the house, every Arizona